What's going on, guys? Hope you're all doing well. Now for today's video, I wanted to talk about some of the new dinosaur games that are going to be coming out soon. This list includes what I think are the most interesting dinosaur games coming out within both the current year of 2024 as well as the very near future. Some of the titles on this list are going to be holdovers from the list that I actually did from last year, but that's only because they haven't come out just yet and newer gameplay footage has been released to the public since then. Now before we begin, I want to give an honorable mention to two video games that almost made the cut. First off would be a dinosaur game titled Yomaya, which is in extremely early development but looks like a Isle sort of a clone, and second would be a Doom clone known as Sun and Bone. This is a high-octane Turok inspired experience that looks like it's supposed to have us be the Doom Slayer, only fighting dinosaurs, which sounds extremely interesting. Now, as far as everything else goes, so first on the list is a new game called Dino Blade. This is a game that I wasn't even aware of until very recently, and that's because it originally started out as apparently just a fun little side project with animations, but the gameplay footage for it it looks so cool, and it honestly it's like one of the most brutal and interesting, let alone original ideas for a dinosaur game that I've seen in literally years. Look at these velociraptors, tyrannosaurs, and spinos, and look, all kinds of dinosaurs just jump around and attack each other like samurai warriors. The whole thing looks super fun. I'm assuming this is going to be a PC exclusive just based off of how it all started, but man, does it look gnarly. I think the gameplay speaks for itself as far as what you can expect. You control a dinosaur and just attack other dinosaurs with a blade of some sort. No idea when it will be out, but you can follow the progress online, and guys, honestly, I'm getting this thing as soon as it releases. I don't know how you couldn't think any of this looks really fun. I doubt it will come out this year, but I have to tell more people about it because how could you not like this stuff? Number 9. Next on the list is a holdover from last year, and one that I'm honestly looking forward to the most in some regards. Compound Fracture. Look, long story short, this is a game that takes place in 1996 and kind of acts as a sort of first-person point of view for Dino Crisis. There are inspirational ideas from Jurassic Park in a style that looks a lot like a PlayStation 1 game. I love this, and everything they've ever released of it looks really good in my opinion, and I think that this is going to be one of those games that really fits in nicely with that old school shooter feel. You basically walk around in a survival horror retro environment fighting dinosaurs in a claustrophobic and atmospheric setting. It's like the first person Jurassic Park game for the PS1 we unfortunately never got, and I don't know why you wouldn't want to play something like this. It looks very retro, very 90s, and it does remind me a lot of Dino Crisis. You guys know I'm a massive fan, so Compound Fracture, whenever it eventually comes out, is going to be something I play immediately. Number 8, we've got a new one called Primeval Horizon. This is a game that describes itself as the following. Start your own journey in a primeval open world, facing survival challenges alongside other inhabitants as you strive to thrive and evolve, conquering bosses and augmenting your creature along the way. The game proudly shows off a Ceratosaurus in its Steam page, and all in all, it looks like a more in-depth gameplay experience akin to something like The Isle. It's supposed to be an MMO prehistoric creature survival game coming to PC, and not gonna lie, it looks kind of cool. We get a lot of these, but this one does sound fun with the boss battle additions, and it is more of a MMO and experience from just the behind the scenes stuff they've been doing. Next up on the list is The Lost Wild. Now, this looks basically like Resident Evil 7 or 8, only in a Jurassic Park setting. Great looking environments and scary looking dinosaurs. I really love the trailer for this game, and the overall feeling and setting makes it look like it's going to be one seriously cool experience. I know that this is yet another one that was a holdover from last year, but I'm only including it again because it just looks like it's going to be one of the coolest dinosaur games we've seen in years. When it finally comes out, out, I'm sure this is going to be a big push for the Jurassic Park franchise to follow suit. You're in a dark setting, you're running from dark-inspired dinosaurs, and you're just trying to fight for survival. This could actually help dinosaur media be more like an old-school Lost World experience. Just, take it back to the classic Jurassic Park stuff that we've been missing for so long. I'm pretty sure it's going to be on PC. In fact, it's already on the Steam wishlist, and I would assume that if all things go well, it could be on other consoles, but I don't want to speak too far ahead of time. We don't know when this is coming out, but hopefully we can get a gameplay demo or something in the near future. Next up on the list is Echoes of Extinction. So this one's pretty interesting. Echoes of Extinction's trailer basically has people building their own little Ark-inspired tribal fort before literal gigantic dinosaurs invade their home. It describes itself as a hardcore prehistoric horror survival game set on an island inhabited by player-controlled characters like dinosaurs and tribal humans. The game offers a dynamic ecosystem where players must compete for resources and survive harsh conditions while adapting to the challenges of a prehistoric world. Sounds pretty cool if it all comes together, and the gameplay footage is really early. Again, this is one where you take control of a dinosaur or possibly a human being and just kind of explore and survive in a dark and scary environment for this island. I will say this, they've released some of the music for this game on their YouTube channel, and it sounds really cool. It gave me a old school, more Turok sort of a feel, even though I'm sure it's doing its own thing. Echoes of Extinction is going to be something that, if everything pans out well, it's like humans versus dinosaurs from the Isle. So I'm going to be paying attention to this one and just seeing how everything shakes out in the future. Next up on the list is Deathground. This is a game that has been teased literally for years, and it's also a squad-based survival game that has redone a lot of its older dinosaur models and focused on more of a scarier updated dinosaur approach. Deathground is something that looks like it's genuinely going to be slick and fun when it comes out, but it's also one that we've already covered before. Basically, we're looking at a game where you and your buddies run away from dinosaurs and try not to get Jason Voorhees by them. It sounds fun and is very Alien Isolation, only with your friends along for the ride. I don't really know when they plan on releasing it fully, but it's another one that you can find on the Steam wishlist, and Deathground is one that's gotten a lot of attention over the last few years. I remember I first started talking about it like in 2020 when Jurassic World Dominion got shut down, so whenever this game comes out, it is going to have a lot of people flocking over to it, but there's other games on the list that I also think are going to be turning people's heads. Number 4 is Paleophage. Okay, so the trailer for this game is nuts. You're walking around a museum or something as a character that looks like Hunk from the Resident Evil games, and a bunch of dinosaurs and prehistoric creatures are just trying to kill you. Paleophage has a very gnarly looking trailer that is very much so inspired by Dino Crisis, with some cool metal music, and they've even got a Spinosaurus, but I have no idea what to expect. It's a third-person survival horror dinosaur game where you uncover the truth about a prehistoric biological nightmare, whatever that means. It's supposed to come out this year on PlayStation 5 and PC, and it kind of looks like these are some sort of hallucinations that the character is seeing in a museum, but I have no idea. All in all, the game looks very simplistic, but it also looks like it's a very fun dinosaur shooter. The fact that it's coming on PS5 is going to give it a little more of a boost in terms of recognition, and yeah, it is another one of those games that's taking a lot of inspiration from Dino Crisis, and because of that, Resident Evil. Personally, I think it looks pretty fun, and it is a new one on the list that we haven't really talked about just yet, which brings us to number 3. Pteranodon 2. Now, this game has an all-new story mode that takes us on a wild ride through prehistoric landscapes on Primal Island. The gameplay looks similar to Ark, at least in visual aesthetic, and Peter Jackson's King Kong, but there's also a leaderboard competition where you can play against people from all over the world to see who can master the art of survival in a brutal prehistoric arena. Honestly, the game looks pretty fun, and while there isn't really too much to go off of just yet, I bought the first Pteranodon game on Steam to check out. It kind of just looks like a series that focuses on staying alive and killing dinosaurs. In fact, the first game, straight up Jurassic Park 3 vibes, but this all sounds fine enough to me. And as far as a video game goes, again, not too much is available for this one, but I do think it's one that's going to be fun when it comes out. There's something about just grabbing a rib out of a carcass and slinging it at a velociraptor that's always fun. It's kind of Turok, it's kind of Peter Jackson's King Kong. I'm definitely paying attention to this one, and I thought I'd tell all you guys about it because I don't see too many people covering it. Number 2 on the list, arguably one of the most anticipated dinosaur games ever right now, is Instinction. Again, a holdover from last year. Instinction is a game that looks like it's actually one of the most seriously advanced titles on this list. They've come pretty far in terms of gameplay footage, and the game looks like, if anything, it's going to be extremely atmospheric and eerie, walking through the jungles and trying to evade mighty dinosaurs while also uncovering some of this sort of ancient ruin stuff on your journey to survive. It all sounds very cool. Instinction is a lot like Deathground. It's been teased for years, and the dinosaurs have continuously been updated with more paleontological accuracy, as well as really good looking dinosaur designs. Now, I've been paying attention to this for a while. I know Daryl Lee Lynn is actually composing the music, who did a lot of the Jurassic Park stuff I used to include all the time on this channel, and yeah man, it sounds pretty cool. It looks great. The Smilodon in particular is fun. I don't know, there's something about Instinction that is just leaving me to believe this is going to be one of the most anticipated dinosaur games for a very long time. This and The Lost Wild, those are the ones that I think are going to be that AAA cutting-edge dinosaur survival horror experience, and yeah, I'm extremely stoked for this.
I wanted to show them something that wasn't an illusion. Something that was real.
But of course that leads us to number 1. You knew it was coming, Jurassic Park Survival. Of course we all know what this is, and honestly it's a game that will probably either help or hurt the Jurassic World franchise overall. We play as Maya Joshi, a survivor of InGen who was left behind on Isla Nublar immediately following the events of the first Jurassic Park. The dinosaurs are loose and we have to stay alive on the island until someone comes to rescue us. The Velociraptor has been released from the freezer, the Tyrannosaurus Rex is out, and the Spitting Dilophosaurus has even made its way inside of the visitor center. How this all shakes out is anyone's guess, but if this game succeeds and does for Jurassic what Alien Isolation did for that brand, we could be looking at one of the most popular Jurassic Park video games like ever made. The game is going to be coming out on all modern systems except for Nintendo Switch from what it looks like, which is kind of obvious I guess, and look, it's already available for pre-order on Steam. I've covered a lot of this game recently and it looks pretty cool. I don't know what direction they're going to really take this in, but hopefully this is going to be the Jurassic Park series, and not only video games but movies, getting themselves back on track to a more authentic Jurassic experience than what they've been doing for a little while. It looks like Alien Isolation just with a Jurassic Park paint job, and yeah, I gotta say, because I'm a Jurassic Park mega fan, I'm very interested to see how this all shakes out. I'm guessing this one's gonna be 2025 to coincide with the new movie, but no promises. Anyways guys, those are all just my own thoughts and opinions on the brand new dinosaur games that are going to be releasing in 2024 and beyond. I didn't include Ark 2 on the list because, I mean, we barely hear anything about that, but there are a lot of games that I had on the list from 2023 that I think you should also check out if you're just interested in what else there is to look forward to. 2024 should be a really interesting time for dinosaur content, but we're going to have to wait and see if everything is as cool as it kind of looks like it will be. Anyways, whatever your own thoughts and opinions on these games and your favorites happen to be, I'd love to hear all about them in the comments down below. Now before I go, I want to thank everyone that's helped me build my channel over the years. I'd also like to thank every one of you guys who've watched my stuff. You've all been extremely cool to me. If you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate a like and hope that you'll consider subscribing. God bless you all, Christ is King, see you guys in the next video, and as always, take it easy.